Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Clarizz. This is our very first Christmas video of 2019 and I'm so excited because this year I put my tree up on November 10th. Really ready for the holidays, but we're also doing more in a calmly manner and starting super early because of course I got baby. This is baby's first Christmas. We got to do it big. I was browsing through Pinterest for some holiday decor ideas and I stumbled upon this balloon structure. Of course I had to remake it and show all of you how I did that. I also have a winner for last week's giveaway, so stay tuned to find out who that is at the end of this video. Meanwhile, I hope that you enjoy this DIY and let's get to it. I bought 5 really sturdy foam boards from the Dollar Tree as well as 5 cardstock paper. We're gonna split this structure in 3 parts, so we're gonna start with the bottom. This is gonna be his legs and also his feet part. So I cut about 16 inches wide of that foam board, and your measurements could be different if you want to make it look bigger or smaller, but I'm going to tell you exactly the numbers that I used. So this ended up being 16 by 24, which is the full length of the foam board. And now we're going to cut off the sides, and what we're going to be doing is gluing all of that together, pretty much making a box. So I cut 2 strips of 4 by 24. You also need 2 of the shorter parts, which is 4 by 16 inches. And then I'm using my glue gun to practically glue everything together. And now we have a nice little box, and I'm going to be making 2 of these because this is also the same base structure that we're going to be making the middle part from. You're actually going to need to cut another piece of foam board to glue it 9 inches down from the top so that we can separate his legs from his thighs. Then you want to set that aside, and we're going to go ahead and make the middle part. So once you have another one of those boxes that we just made from before, we're going to cut 4 strips of 4 by 24 foam board again to make the sides, which is basically his arms. We're also going to need 2 pieces of 4 by 8s and 2 pieces of 4 by 13s for the middle part. And I just drew these quick measurements to see exactly where I glued all the pieces together. I cut a few squares later on to cover the top of his shoulder basically and the bottom of where his hands are going to be. But that part's not necessary because you won't be seeing that anyways. You'll also get a better understanding of why we're separating everything here because the balloons are going to be different parts of his body. So go ahead and set that aside, and now we're off to the very last part, which is the top, his head and his hat. This part was probably the most difficult because I did have to freehand the size of everything because I wanted it to look like the picture on Pinterest, but you can also make it square, and whatever easier shape you want, you can definitely make it your own. So after drawing it on the cardstock, I did cut it to size and also folded it down the middle so that everything will look symmetrical. And then you want to take that and trace it on the actual foam board and then go ahead and cut it down with an X-Acto knife. So now we're going to make the outside part of this head and hat, and I'm going to be cutting 3-inch strips of the cardstock because the foam board is going to be a little bit harder to manipulate in the round edges of this part. We're also going to be putting some of that cardstock in the middle for his cheek, and then we'll also cut a little piece to separate the bottom of his hat from the face. Awesome, so now we've put our structure together and all we need to do is pump up some balloons. I bought 2 bags of 5 inches pink and 2 bags of 5 inches white balloons from Party City. And these were good quality balloons because trust me, I tried the dollar store ones. I couldn't find the perfect tan color to use for his face, so what I did was just take some of the acrylic paint, which is brown and also white that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just painted a couple of those white balloons. Okay, so now we're ready to give this guy some life and color. And all you have to do is use a glue gun to secure all the balloons together. I used white at the top and also pink at the bottom for the very first box that we made. I cut another piece of foam board that's 2 by 24 and glued that right down the middle to kind of define where his pants are going to be. Now moving on to the middle part of his body. We left a significant gap in the middle here because this is going to be his belt. I didn't find a metallic gold one, so I had to find a long animal balloon that I bought from the dollar store, and I just spray painted that one gold. Now the last part, which is his face and his hat. The 5-inch balloons were perfect because I can make them really small. And they were great because it fits sizes like the parts for his cheeks. And again, you don't have to pick the same color balloons that I chose, but you can definitely customize whatever color you want. You can also customize and play around with the features. I just cut some of his eyebrows and also his eyes. I just painted that with some acrylic paint once again. I also cut a few cardstock pieces for his mouth and I just glued that all together. I decided last minute to cut a 16 by 3 inches of that foam board and glue it at the bottom of his face so that when we connect it, it's more stabilized. I also used the cardstock to cut out some details for his shoulders, and then I spray painted that gold and just glued it on there. I added a piece of L-shaped foam board at the back of the bottom piece so that we can have a little bit of support. But the whole thing is super light and can easily be leaned on the wall. You can add whatever other details on your Nutcracker, and then basically all you have to do is put it all together with a glue gun. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this balloon figure, Nutcracker Man, and so does baby Tally. Make sure that you guys comment down below and let me know what you think of this DIY. Of course, give this video a thumbs up if you loved it, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.